Hello, class 12th student. Today, again, I'm going to start chapter 4. Topic is money. This is part 3rd. In this video, we are going to discuss about types of money, money supply, components of money supply, and measures of money supply. And one thing I want to clear to all of you, because you are going to give board examination in this year. So these topics are very important from 1 marks, 3 marks, as well as for 6 marks. Okay, so all these are factual thing, there is nothing concept. Okay, you have to just uh, understand and then you have to learn it. Okay, so these are the factual thing, there is no concept, no theory. Okay, so let us start it. Types of money. So first of all, we are going to learn here under the topic types of money, 4 type of money. Okay, so first is what? First is fiat money, or it is also known as a legal tender money. Okay, so further it is divided into 2 parts: limited legal tender and unlimited legal tender. Okay, so limited, its example is coin. Okay, unlimited, its example all the notes you are using of 100 rupees, 50 rupees, okay, 10 rupees, 5 rupees, 1000. So that is not this time. Okay, 2500. So all these currency notes are considered as an unlimited legal tender. You can make payment in any amount. Okay, on the other hand, coins are considered as a limited legal tender. Okay, after that we are going to learn fiduciary money, or it is also known as a non-legal tender money. So fiduciary are non-legal tender money, its example is draft and check. Okay, bills of payments. So its explanation and detail we are going to learn in for next slides. Okay, after that, full bodied money. So key word is this: full body money means that money which money value or face value is equal to commodity value. Okay, so today we are not using any full bodied money. Okay, full bodied money like silver coin, gold coin, that is used in barters, matlab before currency notes or paper money. Okay, so if you go to the back at least 60 or 80 year back, so we are using full bodied money. Whatever written on the coin, on silver coin, if it is written as a 2, so that time its value as a coin is also 2, and when you are going to sell as silver, then again you are going to get 2. So face value, yeah, money value and commodity value both are is equal, then that type of money is considered as a full bodied money. After that we are going to learn about credit money. So that money value is greater than commodity value. Money value, we can also write it face value. Okay student, we can write also face value to money value. Okay, so today whatever coins and whatever notes we are using, that are the example of credit money. Okay, suppose you take the example of 2000 note. Okay, so its face value, if you take the example of 2000 note, okay, so its face value or its money value is what? 2000. Anything you can buy equal to 2000. Okay, but as a commodity, means as a piece of paper, if you are going to sell it, so no one is going to accept it and nothing you are going to get in return. Okay, like if you are going to have old 500 rupees note or 1000 rupees notes, so if you are going to, now it is not a legal tender money, so if you are going to use 500 old 500 rupees note or 1000 rupees note as a commodity, as a piece of paper, so you are going to get nothing. Okay, so credit money, in this money face value or money value is quite greater in compared to commodity value. Okay, we are going to learn all these 4 types of money: fiat, fiduciary, full bodied and credit, in fully detail. Okay, So first of all, fiat money are legal tender money. So it's name clear, legal tender money. Anything that is backed by government. Yeah, government has announced कि this is now note. This is our currency that we are going to use as a medium of exchange, तो that become money. जिसको भी गवर्नमेंट बोल देती है कि हाँ एज अ मनी आज से इसे एक्सेप्ट किया जाएगा, तो वो क्या बन जाता है आपका fiat money. Okay, as a commodity, as a commodity its value is nothing, zero. Like take the example of notes. If you, as a piece of paper, you are going to sell a bundle of 2000, you are going to get nothing. Okay, but it is written 2000 and it is backed by the government and it is your legal tender money, so no one can deny to accept it. Suppose if you are going to purchase uh, uh, you are going to purchase a dress that is what that is of 2000 rupees. Okay, and if you are making the payment in currency, in notes, so shopkeeper cannot deny it. Why? Because it is our legal tender money. Government, our authority has given that piece of paper, it used as a medium of exchange. Okay, that's why. So what I had written here, so first of all one question can be asked, what do you mean by fiat money? Yeah, what do you mean by legal tender money? So the money, yeah, that money which is issued by order or authority of government is considered as a fiat money or legal tender money. So I think it is very easy. Anything that is issued as a medium of exchange by the government is considered as a fiat money. Okay, yeah, one more meaning I had written here, it refers to money backed by order और अथॉरिटी ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. जिस किसी भी पीस ऑफ पेपर को गवर्नमेंट बोल देती है कि ये आज से हमारा नोट है, वो क्या बन जाता है, लीगल टेंडर या फियाट मनी. ओके, लाइक प्रीवियस ओल्ड, if you are having old 500 rupees, so it is, you cannot make use of it. Why? Because government is not going to back up it. Okay, because from 2016 after demonetization, that old 500 rupees having no backup, it is not a legal tender, it is not 5 rupees note by our government. Okay, that's why. So if any note that is backed by the government, that is our fiat money or legal tender money. So this definition I think very easy. It refers to money backed by authority of the government. Okay, example iske all coins and notes. So whatever note you are using today in 2020 and all coins, these are the example of fiat or legal tender money. Okay, so fiat money gets its value from government order. Okay, it has no intrinsic value. So what is intrinsic? First of all, we require to understand the meaning of this term intrinsic. Intrinsic means as a commodity, as a commodity. Okay, means what is the price of the thing that it is made of. जिस चीज़ से बनी है उसकी क्या वैल्यू है, उस पर कितना एक्सपेंडिचर हुआ है. तो इफ़ यू टॉक अबाउट 10 रुपीज़ कॉइन, तो इफ़ यू आर गोइंग टू सेल एज अ कमोडिटी, कबाड़ वाले को आप 10 रुपीज़ रुपये के रूप में नहीं, एज अ मेटल बेचने जाओ, जो आपको मिलेगा दैट इज़ कंसिडर एज अ इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू. ओके, सो एक्चुअली fiat money is not going to have intrinsic value. If you want to get 10 rupees, okay, so you have to give too much 10 rupees coin as a metal, then you are able to get 10 rupees in return. Okay, आप कबाड़ वाले को बहुत ढेर सारा 10 रुपीज़ दोगे तब जाके आपको वो 10 रुपीज़ एक्चुअली देगा, अगर एज अ मेटल आप उसे देते हो. सो दैट इज़ वॉट इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू. ओके, सो फियाट मनी हैविंग इट्स वैल्यू, इट इज़ 500. वाई? बिकॉज इट इज़ 500, इट इज़ एक्सेप्टेड एज अ 500 बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट हैड टोल्ड, हियर इज़ रिटन ना, it is promises has been written on the note, it is 500, it is 1000, so it is backed up by the government. And if anyone deny to accept it, you can go to police station, you can file a charge, and that person can be fined, fine penalty and put in jail also. Okay, so these, because it is backed by government, okay, and it is our legal tender money, no one can deny. So I think you are able to understand what is important. Two things important, its meaning, so you can learn any of one, okay, and its example, all coins and notes. So I think it is very easy, okay. Next is, there are two type of legal tender money: limited legal tender and unlimited legal tender, okay. So limited legal tender means all coins, okay. It is the money which can be accepted up to a certain maximum limit. So in India, that limit is what, 1000 rupees as a coin. If you want to make the payment, rupees, make the payment in coins, so you can make payment only 1000, okay, not more than that. So that is given here, and that law is per coinage bill passed in August 2011 can be accepted legally in payment. More than that they can deny, okay. Now unlimited legal tender, so all currency come in unlimited legal tender. So it is the money which can be accepted up to any amount in accepting payment, okay. All currency notes have unlimited legal tender, okay, no one can deny. Now next is, second type is fiduciary money or non-legal tender money. It is not, why it is not non-legal tender money? Because it is not backed by government, okay. So what is its definition? The money which is accepted as a medium of exchange because of trust between payer and payee is known as a fiduciary money. One more meaning is written, I had written here, it is refers to money backed by trust. In that, in fiat money we had written here, it is referred to money backed by government or order, okay. Here what is written, it is refers to money backed by trust between payer and payee, okay. What are its example? Draft, check, bill of payment, okay. Suppose if you went to village, okay, and you had purchased some grocery item, and your payment of 1000, you have to pay 1000 for that uh, grocery items that you had purchased, okay. Now if you are not having money, you are not having currency, okay, in your pocket, you are having checkbook, okay, you tell to shopkeeper, oh, bhaiya please accept this check, I'm going to give you of 1000. So कोई भी पर्सन अननोन से चेक एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता है, क्यों? क्योंकि मे बी वो फ्रॉड हो, उसके अकाउंट में उतने पैसे हो ही नहीं. सो दैट इज़ वाई हियर इट इज़ रिटेन कि इट इज़ backed by trust. When payer and payee both know to each other and they know about the credit worthiness, they know that ki हाँ, that person is going to have this much money in the bank account, then only you are going to accept it, otherwise not, okay. So this is why it is written, it is backed by what? It is backed by trust between whom? Payer and payee, okay. So जिसको भी लेना और देना है वो ट्रस्ट के ऊपर है. हाँ, अगर मैं चेक लेना चाहती हूँ तो मैं लूँगी, नहीं तो मैं डिनाई कर सकती हूँ, एंड देयर इज़ नो लीगल बाउंडेशन on me, okay, I can deny. No, you give me, you make the payment in currency only, so he have to do that, okay. So it is its example are check, draft, bills of exchange, okay. Next, full bodied money. What is full bodied money? So any unit of money whose face value and intrinsic value are equal is known as a full bodied money. So this is the keyword, money value is equal to commodity value. So first of all we needed to understand the meaning of intrinsic value and money या face value, okay. Face value means whatever printed on the coin are written on the note, okay. If suppose there is a coin, there is written 10 rupees, so this is known as a face value or known as a मनी वैल्यू. ये कितने का नोट है, सो वॉट एवर रिटन ऑन दैट ना, दैट इज कंसिडर एज अ फेस वैल्यू और मनी वैल्यू, ओके. नाउ what is commodity value, yeah, what is intrinsic value, both are the same thing, so we can write here commodity value also. So it refers to the value of metal content in the unit of money. For example, the value of silver content in a silver coin is known as an intrinsic value. Okay, so during the British period, 1 rupee coin was made of silver and its value as a money was same as its value as a commodity. Okay, so that is money value is going to equal to commodity value, या money या face value is going to equal to intrinsic value. आप चाहे उसे 1 रुपये के कॉइन के रूप में यूज़ करो तो भी उसकी परचेजिंग कैपेसिटी कितनी होगी, 1 रुपये के इक्वल होगी. और एज अ if you are going to use as a commodity, as a metal, still it's you are going to get 1 rupee, okay, in during the British period. So this type of money is considered as a full bodied money, and today time there is no full bodied money, we are not using. Okay, now next is credit money. So this is the time of credit money. Okay, like 2000 note, there is written 2000, so its face value or money value is what, 2000. But as a commodity, so it is made of what, it is made of paper. So as a piece of paper, when you go to sell, so what you are going to get, nothing, as only you are having one note of 2000. Okay, and you want to know about its intrinsic value or its commodity value, go and to give any as a piece of paper, like here I can give you example of 1000. If you are having old 1000 rupees note, now it is not legal tender money. Okay, so now if you are going to sell it as a piece of paper, so what you are going to get, nothing. Okay, so today is the time of credit money. In what is credit money? So a money whose intrinsic value is much lower its face value, means what is greater, face value is greater to commodity value, too much greater actually. Face value of 100 rupees note is rupees 100, but we would get much lower value if we sell the note as a piece of paper. Credit card, bank deposit are other example of credit money. Okay, you know now today we are using debit card, credit card, so there is a chip is given. Okay, if you go to the 5 or 6 7 8 year back, so वहाँ पे chip टाइप का नहीं बना होता है. आज वो पुराने वाले क्रेडिट और क्रेडिट कार्ड या डेबिट कार्ड ATM एक्सेप्ट नहीं करता है. तो नाउ उस प्लास्टिक पीस को आप सेल करने जाओगे तो यू आर गोइंग टू गेट नथिंग. ओके, ओनली वन यू आर हैविंग, सपोज ओल्ड वन credit card or debit card, so you are going to get nothing. Okay, so this is what credit money, in which face value is too much, face value is too much in compared to commodity value. Okay, so as a rupee, as a rupees, yeah, as a currency, when you are using, you can purchase a lot of thing. Whatever the money is written 2000 note, so you can purchase anything that is worth of 2000. But as a piece of paper, when you are going to sell 2000 note, you are going to get nothing. Okay, now next and very important topic, what do you mean by money supply? This time this question has been asked in board examination. Okay, so what is the meaning of money supply? So money supply refers to total value of money. So this is the key word, total value of money held by public, total value of money held by public at a particular point of time in a economy. Okay, so point of time, so it is a stock concept. It is what? It is a stock concept. If any variable measures a period of time, that is known as a flow, and if it is measured at a point of time, then it is known as a stock. Okay, so what is the meaning of money supply? Money supply refers to total volume, yani total amount. You can write here amount also in place of volume. It refers to total amount of money held by public, okay, at a particular point of time. If you are going to write here a period of time, so that will be wrong. If you are written everything right, but you have written period, so you are going to get nothing, no marks. Okay, so remember point of time. Now features of money supply. So it include money held by public only. Okay, so it signifies that ki money using sector, it include only money using sector. So who are money using sector? individuals means we, you, all household, okay, and business firm. It does not include money creator sector. Now there are two questions. What do you mean by money? It include this line include actually two question in itself. What do you mean by money using sector? So money using sector means individual and business firms. Okay, what is considered as a money creator sector? So government, banking system, okay, so these are considered as a money creating sector. Why these are considered as a money creating sector? Because government issue all government issue 1 rupee note and all coins, okay. And bank means RBI. If you talk about central bank, so RBI issue all notes, okay, all notes are issued by RBI. And plus commercial bank is also included in this, commercial bank. So commercial bank by bank money या credit creation, you will learn in next chapter, credit creation, okay. So you will write creation, okay. So there are three money creator. First is government. Why? Because it issue 1 rupee note and all coins, okay student. Second is RBI. It issue all notes except 1 rupee note, okay. Third is commercial bank, because it creates money by credit creation, okay, that we are going to learn in next chapter, okay. Now, so money supply only related to money held by public, yani held by individual and business firms, okay. Next is it is stock concept. Why it is stock concept? Because it is measured या concerned with the particular point of time. So all these are very important. 1 marks question, this is 1 marks question. Now here is 1 marks question, here is 1 marks question, this is 1 marks question, this is 1 mark. 6 questions are in just one slide, okay. So understand it properly. Now it is in your course M1, measures of money. So in measures of money there are only one in your syllabus. So M1 is related to three things. M1 is sum total of C plus DD plus OD. It is a narrow money. C means currency held by public. D means net demand deposits of the bank that can be withdrawn at any time by account holder. OD, these are other deposits with RBI. So just you have to learn it. There is nothing to understand, so learn it, okay. It is important, so learn it. Now M2, M3 and M4, actually just try to learn this equation, okay. Try to learn these equations. Maybe sometime question can be asked, but this is not in your syllabus. But it is good to know for your further study when you are going to higher education. So you are having a basic concept. 2-3 year back that is in syllabus, but now it is not in syllabus. But just for your understanding, M2 means M1 plus saving deposit with post office saving banks. M3 means M1 plus net time deposit with commercial bank. M4, M3 plus total deposit with the post office, okay. So just you learn these equations and you are able to understand, okay. Now this is the last point of this video, okay. It is important, it is very very important for 1 marks question. Which money are considered as a narrow money? So M1 and M2. Why? Because it is most liquid. M1 include all currency held by the public, means coins and notes, you can use directly, okay. And demand deposit with the commercial bank, okay. Again you can use it, you go bank, open, when bank is open you go and you use ATM card and take out your money and you can directly use to buy anything. So that is why M1 and M2 are considered as a narrow money and more liquid, most liquid form, you can directly use it. Okay, now M3 and M4 are known as a broad money. Okay, M1 is most liquid as it can be easily converted into cash. M4 is least liquid, it cannot be easily converted into cash. M3 is most commonly used measure of money. So learn, these are the fact, learn it. Okay, thank you for today. Next day we are going to start new chapter.